Isn't that a great song? And if you look at all those lyrics, there's tons of lyrics in there that, you know, can we house the homeless in the whole world? Can you house the homeless in the whole world? You have a big house, but can you feed the hungry? Can you feed every person that goes hungry in this world? No, you can't. And I think sometimes because we feel the overwhelming job it would take to do all of that, we don't start. We just don't do it. And a lot of us, we do our best. But, I need that little thingy. So I'm going to start today off with Star Wars. Right? I never gave a Star Wars talk, and I never will. But there's a moment in Star Wars where Yoda says something to Luke, and Luke says, I'll give it a try. And Yoda just loses it. As Yoda loses it, which Yoda doesn't really lose it. But he says, do or do not. Wait, he's Italian. I don't do a Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. So Yoda, what he was really doing there, it's not the try that we just sang about. Yoda's talking about the emphasis on commitment and determination. Because often when you hear yourself say, I'll give it a try, what are you really saying, Lisa?
It may work out.
Yeah. Could I get any higher? Yeah. It's like, I'll give it a try. I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe it will, but I'll give it a try. Do you feel the energy around I'll give it a try? Right? But if you have determination and absolute commitment, it's like, yes, I will try to do my absolute best. And even the word try, the way we have used it in the world now, kind of signifies a lesser degree of, yes, I will. And he's right. Do not try. Do. So another name for this, sometimes in our lives, is this: half-assed. It was not easy to find that slide. So I have a question for you. How much of your life do you live half-assed? Like any of you is going to say, about 20%. No, but I want you to think about it. And what I mean by that is, how much of what you do doesn't have your full commitment behind it? How much of what you do would you say you give 100% to? And do you decide on things because you're willing to give 100% to something? One of the things that I've learned in this sabbatical was that I'm really no longer willing to do anything. I don't necessarily think I do a lot of things half-assed, but I will say I do a lot of things with only half of me involved, or maybe a third of me involved, or maybe even a tenth of me involved, because I said yes to way too many things. Anybody? Hands? Right? So yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Tiffany and I had a great talk about that. We're not doing that anymore, right, Tiff?
That's right.
Yep. Nope. And that's because of this quote. If I can't put my whole heart into it, I take my whole self out of it. And for most of you that know the quote that I usually use, which is a quote from Mental Muscle, I've just changed it a bit. It used to be, if I can't put my heart in it, I take myself out of it. But now it's, if I can't put my whole heart into it, I take my whole self out of it. What if you lived your life like that? What do you think would change? What do you think would change if you didn't just do half of what you in your heart wanted to do? Because here's the question. If your whole self is not in it, what's the other part of yourself doing? It's a good question, isn't it? It's like, I'm going to put 50% of me in. What's the other 50% doing? So when you say, I'll give it a try, what's the other 50% of the try doing besides perhaps saying, it's not going to work. You've tried this before. Do you really want to do this? So you've got this devil and angel on your shoulders. Remember the devil and angel in what movie am I thinking of? Animal House. On the shoulder? Yeah, okay. That's how old I am. No reference point. So the whole thing is, my mind is a solid unit. in this quantum field of pure potentiality that everything is, it is using my individual mind to create based on my choices, my thoughts, what I decide to do with it. And if I'm only going to give 50% or 20%, what's the other 80% doing? It's still creating. So are you willing to be solely focused on what it is you say you want in your life? So the title of my talk today is Waiting on Wisdom. What do you think of that slide? I think Lori did a great job. First she said to me, your title's what? I said, it's Waiting on Wisdom. And she said, well, do you want to lead me somewhere? Like, what image do you want for waiting on wisdom? And I said to her, I said, you know what? Give me somebody at a bus stop, waiting for a bus. And she sent me this. I went, I didn't say a depressed person at a bus stop. I said, just give me a person at a bus stop. But you know what? This is perfect. Because this person is my talk title, Waiting on Wisdom. I think we tend to wait way too often in our lives. Just like you said, I could wait. I did always want to fly on the trapeze, but I also never did it. Never did it. It's a nice idea. I'd like to try it someday, but until you actually say, I'm going to do it. Dr. Walker used to teach that. He'd say, you know when you've made a decision? You all know, where am I going? To the movies. Thank you, Eric. The only student that paid attention. So Dr. Walker used to say, you know you've made a decision when you decide on the movie you want to see, pick the movie theater you want to go to, you still haven't made a decision, get in your car, turn it on, drive the car to the theater, walk up the steps or elevator, buy the tickets, and then buy the popcorn. He always added popcorn in. And then take the ticket, give it to the ticket guy, walk in and sit down and watch the movie. Now you've made a decision. How many of you are living your life like that? 100%. And I'm really talking about all the things in your life that you want to do, you want to be, you want to experience, all the greatness that you want to accomplish, all the things you want to experience out there. So waiting on wisdom for me is all about the understanding that I'm going to wait till I know everything before I take that first step. And that song, Daniel's song, is all about maybe we can't house the homeless, maybe we can't feed, but we can try. We can take that first step because even the longest journey starts with the first step. So I want to ask you today, what step could you take when you walk out of here today? What step could you take, and the next one after that, and the next one after that, to really bring home what it is you want to accomplish in life? And it's not really just about accomplishments, because it's also about living a life that you can live fuller, happier. So I looked up what this word wisdom means in our world. The ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions and judgments. Now, I want to look at the two things there, knowledge and experience. Experience is simple. All the things that have happened to you, that teach you. I said that on the tightrope. Falling off is the experience. I learned from experience how to stay up on the tightrope. So that's good. Experience is good. But the ability to use your knowledge and experience, and when I say knowledge, I think about quantum knowledge. I think about not schooling, not education, but the knowledge that floats through this universe through me, that intuitive knowing that I know. To learn from experience, to learn from the facts and everything I've studied, but to be open to hearing something else. And then there was another. Acting with knowledge while questioning what one knows. This was another definition of wisdom. Acting with knowledge, but questioning everything else. How many of you think you sometimes are in a rote of living? I do this, so I do this. I learned this, so I do this. I believe this, so I act this way. Somebody said to me someday this week about acting, And I said, this person, oh, I remember what it was now, but this person looks amazing. Looks like he should be on Lord of the Rings. I mean, he was like amazing looking. And his girlfriend said he's an amazing actor. I said, how's it going? He goes, I'm really waiting for the right agent. And I was like, see, that's what we learn. Actors have to have the right agent to have the right career. Another producer, this woman's produced mega hit movies. I happened to be sitting with her the other night, and she was saying something about she was tired of working with a bunch of people for everybody else's projects, co-producing. And I said, so find a project that you love and go produce it. You have everything you need. You can take it to any studio in town. They all love you. Just find what you want to do and go make it happen. And she looked at me and she went, you think everything is so easy. And I said, you think everything is so hard. You're going to experience hardness. I'm going to experience easy. And then she slapped me. But that's what we teach, isn't it? That's what we believe. So acting with knowledge, I get how hard these things are. I have a show I want to take to Broadway. I will take to Broadway. I know what everything has come at us, showing me what we need, when the next production is, the money that has to be brought in, everything that goes on behind that. That's the knowledge. But I must question. I must always question. What am I knowing? Because there's that half-assed mind. Here's the knowledge, but here's what I know. And they sometimes conflict. What's wisdom? Wisdom is acting with the knowledge while questioning what you know. Always, always, always questioning. I'm about to start teaching quantum living tomorrow. And that's what this is all about. Quantum living. And I'm so excited. We're edging towards 50 students from all over the country and world. There are people, there's one person in Australia. So it's exciting that people really want to understand the quantum field from a place of living from the quantum field. Not just the knowledge, but the willingness to say, now what do I need to know? Now what I need to know. When I grew up in New York as an actor, for most of my years in New York, or the middle years in New York, I was a Buddhist. And I love Buddhism. I think it's smart, it's loving, I just got the wisdom in Buddhism is astounding. And then when I met Dr. Walker and I started hearing Science of Mind, I didn't suddenly think, oh, Buddhism, I don't need Buddhism. I hold that in my heart at all times. But living Buddhism, living Catholicism, living, Hinduism, the Muslim faith, living those things, that's all Ernest Holmes ever wanted. He wanted to create a book that anyone in any faith could read as a complement to what they do in their religious life. We've gotten very far away from that in this teaching, but not here, because that's what I believe. And I absolutely believe that. So this quantum living class is all about how do we take wisdom and live it with the knowledge we have, with the experiences we have. How do we take all of it and still say, now what do I need to know? Not, I know everything, I've got this. But now, what do I need to know? So here's my question to you. What? No, they're not eating dogs and cats. I picked a dog and a cat not for political reasons, but because sometimes I think we just sit around waiting for our masters to come home. Waiting for something to show up to tell us it's okay. Or someone to show up to say, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. You're going to be able to do this, Craig. I don't think you were waiting when you dove off of that diving board. You must have had to just walk out and do what you knew yours was to do, and then win the bronze Olympic medal. Just in case. Just in case you all forgot that. And notice that I said bronze. I usually say silver. But I know now. So here's the thing. What are you waiting for? What are we waiting for? I was very excited, I have to say. You know, Yoda says, do or do not. Don't try. I say, do or do not, but don't wait around. Make a decision and do it. Make a decision and do whatever that is yours to do. It's so funny because, you know, so many people are now like, so let's talk about your retirement. I was like, why? I said, I'm not ever, 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 ever retiring. I'm never giving this up. I am never going to stop speaking and teaching and learning and knowing and writing and singing and acting and directing and maybe tightrope walking again, who knows? But I'm not going to. Are you? Nope. So what are we waiting for? I'm going to suggest the answer is nothing. Because frankly, this poor guy, he's just waiting for his bus, and it's just not coming. And I didn't mention this either. Do you see that hill with all those doors? I loved that picture. It's a whole picture, too. The quote cuts half of it off. How many doors are still ready for you to open them? How many doors are actually wide open, just waiting for you to walk through them? And how often do you stand on the other side of the door with all of your yeah buts, with all of your reasons why, with all of your knowledge, all of your experience, but not with the wisdom to just walk through it because you know who you are? So, Pablo Picasso said, action is the fundamental key to all success. So, what are you waiting for to be happier? What are you waiting for to be richer, to be healthier? What are you waiting for to be kinder? Some of those lyrics in the song that Daniel wrote, maybe we can't always love our neighbors. You know, this summer, this country, it became so clear to me how, I already knew it, we all know it, how divided this country is. And even yesterday, someone flipped me off, drove next to me, the window rolled down, and some woman leaned out and started screaming at me because I still have a Biden side on the back of my car. My Harris sign hasn't come in yet. And I get to say, as a religious leader, I get to say, that's my choice. You get to say if you have another choice. When did we turn into a place where you had to have my choice or else I'm not interested in you? That's the problem. Maybe we can't always love our neighbors, but if there's ever been a time, we need to try. We need to commit to this teaching. And here's the irony. All religions, the truth of all religions is about loving one another, not about wars raging on whatever premises there are. So action is the fundamental key to all success. So my question to you today is, when are you going to stop waiting for the bus and realize that you are the bus? Just think about that for a second. You don't need a bus. You don't need a plane. You don't need a car to travel. Your mind is the most ferocious tool you will ever have to travel to wherever you want to go. Your individual mind has the capacity to take you anywhere, to take you everywhere, to give you every desire fulfilled, to give you the richness of the universe that's right there to take, to give you the health, the vibrant health that a sound bath can help you get. Your mind is running the show. Don't wait for the bus. Stand up and walk away and walk into a life that is yours to live. Because that's the wisdom of this teaching. That's the wisdom that's here, ready to guide you. So, as you walk out of this sanctuary today, what is that first step you're willing to take to fulfill whatever desires are coming up for you? What's the first step you're willing to take? Can I suggest one? Would you mind? changing your mind, realizing how powerful your mind is, really, really deeply understanding just how powerful you are. Because if you do that, you'll never have to say, oh, I'll give it a try. You'll always be 100% in the doing category. We are here to do and to be, and sometimes to do be do. That is the message for today. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.